everyone, Victor Tanzik here, and welcome to the Reddit Railway. Today's destination is r/am I the arsehole. So all aboard! A few days ago, my husband and I went out to dinner with our daughters, Anna and Mary. Anna's husband, Tom, and his parents were there too. My husband isn't a big fan of Tom. He thinks he shows off his wealth. Tom has a very high-paying job, and his family are well off. At the dinner, Anna was showing off the birthday present Tom had given her, a really expensive Chanel bag. Things were going well until my husband made a comment about how instead of buying expensive purses, Tom should have donated that money to charity. He wasn't being malicious, he was just making a statement. Tom said he wanted to spoil Anna for her birthday. My husband didn't say anything else, and we moved on. At the end of the dinner, when we were leaving, my husband said, "Imagine having so much money and not using it for good." He said it jokingly, and I laughed it off. Tom and his parents got defensive and said it was wrong for my husband to assume they don't do charity, and he shouldn't be making comments like that. Anna said it's none of our business how Tom spends his money, and everyone left. After we got home, my husband said Anna had changed after getting married to such a pretentious family. He said he was disappointed I hadn't supported him when he was getting attacked. I agreed that I should have said something to Anna, so I called her later and said that she and her new family have hurt her dad's feelings. I told her he's a very generous man, so of course he expects her to be the same. Anna got mad and said that I'm an enabler. I told her they turned a joke into a fight, and she was insulting her own family to impress her husband's. Mary said we were being unfair and rude to Anna and Tom, but I was just trying to make her see our side. Am I the arsehole? You're the arsehole. I know it's fashionable to pick on the rich and say they're selfish for not using their wealth to help others, but nobody has an obligation to do anything with their money, even if they have a lot of it. How people spend it is their business. Granted, I do cringe at the sight of expensive items like bags, clothes, cars, and yachts. Those are excessive and completely unnecessary, but if I had that kind of cash, I can't say I wouldn't indulge just a little. OP and her husband are clearly jealous of Tom. He's probably able to provide Anna with things they couldn't. They owe their daughter, Tom and his parents, a big apology. There is an update, so let's see if they did. I read through all the comments and took time to reevaluate everything. A lot of them were saying my husband felt inferior to Tom and his family. I disagree with this, as I reckon he feels superior. I thought back and realized over the years he always thought he was superior to everyone, especially his own family. He was always the greatest and could do no wrong. He'd start arguments with our girls for no reason. If they shared info about something they researched, he'd always have to jump in and say, No, this is wrong. I did more research than you and I have the facts. It was always, look at me while I do this or that. He never liked Tom because he felt his family wasn't humble. By humble, I think he means they don't suck up to him. Writing it all out, I can't believe I was so blinded by his behavior. We sat down and had a long, serious conversation about this. Of course, he thought I was overreacting and defending Anna and Tom. I told him to apologize to Tom, and he refused. I then said at the very least he should apologize to Anna. Again, he said no. This went on for a couple of days. I suggested counseling. He said he didn't need counseling, but maybe I did because you don't understand how anything works. So we separated and are getting divorced. When I served him the papers, my soon-to-be ex said we never appreciated him. He actually agreed to the divorce because, in his own words, I deserve better. Anna was right. I had been enabling him. I always took his side, even against my own daughters, and I regret that. Good riddance, I say. Both Anna and Mary have supported me in this. We're all doing well. I've personally apologized to Tom and his family, and they're very understanding. Thank you to everyone who made me realize what I was doing wrong. Wow, that was surprising. I didn't think this would end in a divorce. Just goes to show how powerful some outside perspective can be. So the husband wasn't insecure about Tom's wealth. He was just a wanker. I agree with OP. Good riddance to him, and good luck to her. When I was a freshman in college, I had a relationship with a girl named Maeve. Years after we broke up, she started dating my brother. He didn't know about our past because we weren't in each other's lives at the time. He lived with our mum and I lived with our dad several hours away. It was weird once we all knew, but I told my brother to go for it if he loves her. I'd completely moved on from Maeve. They got married and had a kid, my nephew, who's now 7. One day, my brother told the whole family he's staying at a friend's house because he has reason to believe my nephew isn't his kid. He won't tell me why he's questioning the paternity, and the only thing I've been able to get out of Maeve is they had a misunderstanding during an argument. The last time we talked, he told me he wants to get a paternity test done. He somehow thinks I'm the father because my nephew looks a lot like me. I called him an idiot for not understanding how genetics work. We're brothers, so there was a chance our kids might look like one of us, but it doesn't mean anything. I kept insulting him. I admit my words were motivated by anger, as I couldn't believe he'd think I'd betray him like that. My dad said my brother probably isn't thinking clearly, so insulting his intelligence like that wasn't a smart move. My brother obviously thinks I'm an asshole, so I want to know, am I? Not the asshole. Granted, your dad has a point. Your brother is clearly stressed and upset. Insulting him probably wasn't the best call, but I can't say I would have been entirely civil if my brother accused me of banging his wife and fathering a child. I would recommend you do the paternity test. If the result comes up negative, only apologize if he does first. There is an update, so let's see if that's what happened. This whole thing was a lot crazier than I originally thought. I told my brother how hurtful it was that he was accusing me of having an affair with his wife and fathering a child. If he seriously thinks it was me, then I would do the test, which he would pay for. But if that happened, he better get used to not having me around because we would be done after that. The test came back showing I wasn't the father. The day after making my original post, I reached out to Maeve and demanded to know what started this whole thing. It seems he suspected she was having an affair because one time he came to her work and she wasn't there. Later that day, she acted like she was, but he never told her he had stopped by. In reality, she had a consult with a lawyer because she decided to get a divorce. He didn't know about the divorce at the time. My brother still thought she was cheating, so he went through her stuff. That was when he found her personal journal. She didn't want to tell my family the details about the fight because it concerned what she had written, such as how she still had feelings for me. When he confronted her, he misinterpreted the whole thing and thought she was having an affair with me. Even though she never worded it like that in her journal, she did admit being in love with me and feeling immense guilt over it. Worse still, she also admitted she was only staying with my brother for my nephew's sake. I heard my brother's side too once he calmed down. He confirmed the journal never said we were having an affair. He had just gotten it into his head we were. While I now understand his feelings about what was going on, I can't forgive him for the way he acted. He never asked to hear my side and jumped straight into accusations. He did apologize for that, and so did Maeve for unintentionally dragging me into their problems. As far as I know, my brother still hasn't gone back to their house. Maeve is still moving forward with the divorce. The whole thing is a mess. My mum keeps trying to push me to talk to my brother because he feels bad for what he did, but I held firm on my conditions regarding the paternity test. If he was so sure I was the kind of brother who would betray him, then we have no business having a relationship. For now, that's what I'm sticking to. Good. Not for the outcome, but for standing by your decisions. Too often you hear about people forgiving others when they really don't deserve it, and the brother definitely doesn't. I feel sorry for the nephew. How can the brother, who I'm guessing is the actual father, ever have a proper relationship with him after this? Maeve also deserves some of the blame. How long has she still had feelings for OP? Her entire marriage? Did she marry the brother just to be closer to OP? If so, that's sick. Or maybe they came back over time. Either way, she should have talked to her husband or bailed. Since she's still going through with the divorce, it's obvious what her choice is. Too bad she didn't make it sooner. This whole thing might have been avoided. And with that, I'll end the video here. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.